In this video, I decided to turn myself into a fireball, and anything I touch, well, any humanoid I touch, catches on fire too. I thought that'd be pretty cool. We put a little roll animation on here. Oop, something's happening.
Any Sector C science personnel, please report status.
My status is good. I'm a fireball. Here comes some zombies. Brah, see that? He bursts into flames. I thought that'd be cool. Let's let them get us. Let's let them all horde around us. And that's how it's done. That's how you kill zombies when you're a fireball. Let's go ahead and get started. I got a fresh base plate right here. The first thing I'm going to do is start out by making my fireball. So I'm going to go to the part. I'm going to hit a sphere, right? Sphere. There we go. I think in the demo, I left it at 4, 4, and 4. Let's make it a little bigger. Let's go like 5, 5, and 5. Straight. This part is going to be the head. So I'll say head. I'll color it and put fire on it after we get it moving. All right, so I'm going to right click. I'm going to group as model. And I'm going to call this model starter character because I'm going to use it to start, right? I use it to start my game. Character. There we go. So in order to have a character, we need more than a head. Let's open up the starter character, and I'll just hit this plus sign. I'll add a part. This is going to be my humanoid root part. It's right there. And we'll just name it humanoid root part. And I'm going to center that inside the head. So let's go to the head, and then we'll go down to the position, C-frame position of the head. Copy that. Control C. Go back to our humanoid root part. And then we'll just do a Control V. And now it's inside. You can kind of see it. You'll make it big enough just so that we can kind of see it poking out. Let's do that. Just so we know where the part is. We can make it smaller later. I'll make that 5 by 1 by 2. There we go. And then we'll just kind of color it while we're working on it. That'll be red. That's my humanoid root part. We're going to need a torso. So I'm going to do the same thing. I hit the plus. We'll do a part. There we go. There's a part. And then that's going to be the torso. Go ahead and click on that. There we go. Change the name. Torso. And that's going to be with my humanoid root part. So let me find the position, C-frame position of the humanoid root part. Control C. Go to the torso. Control V. Boom, it's inside. I think I'll have that sticking out also. Maybe make the metrics different. How about 1 by 1 by 5? There we go. We'll make that blue so we can see that, right? It's kind of hard to see. We'll make them all invisible or at least smaller so you can't see them once we get our thing operational. What else do we need? Well, I think what I'm going to do, I noticed some kind of strangeness if we don't have at least one leg. Let's do another part. I'm going to put the right and left leg on there too. And I'm going to do it the same way, right? I got my torso. I think I even have the position saved. Go to position, Control V, boom. That's going to be left leg. I'm not going to make all the parts, but I am going to make the legs. And I'll do a Control D to duplicate it in place. Collisions are off, so it won't be a problem. Boom. Let's rename that second left leg to right leg. Right leg. And I'm not going to add the other body parts, just so that we have some. I need to add a humanoid, so go to your starter character, hit the plus, add a humanoid. And it should default to R6 because we don't have many parts, right? We have a torso here. Let's go ahead and add everything together. Now, we don't really need the plugin because we're not going to be moving the C-frames around in the Motor 6Ds. So I'm going to go to the humanoid root part. I'm going to hit a plus, and we'll do a Motor 6D, right? And then we'll call this torso because we are going to attach the torso. So on the Motor 6D torso, go down to where it says part 0, click right beside it, hit your humanoid root part, go to part 1, and then hit your torso. And on torso, we're going to do that again. All right, let's click that torso. There we go. It highlighted finally. Hit the plus, and then we'll do a motor 6D. And then that motor 6D, I'll call that head. The part 0 will be the torso. The part 1 will be the head. Right, and then we're going to do that for the legs too. So I hit that plus sign, and then I'll do a motor 6D, another one on the torso. I'll go ahead and duplicate that, Control D. So these are going to be for the legs. So I'll call this one like left leg. And left leg will be part 0, torso, part 1, left leg. And then this one's going to be right leg, part 0, torso, part 1, right leg. All right, now we got to start doing our animation, but we need to know which way is front. So hit our humanoid root part, we're going to right click, and then show orientation indicator. On our humanoid root part, I'm just going to drag this out so you can see it. The front is right here. See that F and then the green arrow pointing up is the up direction. I'll just do a Control Z to move it back. I just did that so you could see it. So this way is front to my right, right? Now let's go to our avatar, animation editor. We're going to click on the rig. It tells us to. Okay, there we go. Let's call this roll. Hit enter. Straight. Go to these 3 dots. And set animation priority to movement, although we're not going to have any competing animations. Hit the 3 dots again. I think I'll hit save one more time. And now we're going to put an animation on the head, which is the big circle, right? All right, let's click that again. I shouldn't have clicked it there. What we want to do, because it's going to be really hard to select these for animations, go to your starter character down here, and then on the left of the screen, hit the plus, add the head that way. Then when you select it, it's going to select the head. All right, on that first keyframe, I'm just going to move this a little bit so that I get a keyframe. I didn't actually move it at all. If you open the head up, you can see it's still all zeros. I'm going to go to the 6th frame, and then I'll just move that, I don't know, how about 90 degrees. That should work. Let's go to the 12th frame. Let's add another 90 degrees. We'll go to the 18th frame. Another 90 degrees. That's 360. We want to get back to the original though. Right, so that's 90. That's 90. That's 180. That's 270. Yeah. We got to get back. We got to do one more. 90. There we go. Let's try it out. Let's hit this. Yeah, that looks like it's rolling. That's pretty good. All right, I'm going to keep this looped, right? And then I'm going to hit these 3 dots. I'm going to save it in case I got to modify it. Hit the 3 dots again, and then I'm going to publish the Roblox. Wait, I got to move this down because I can't see my submit button. Roll, that's fine. I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to get this ID. I'm going to hit those 2 boxes. I'm going to close. I'm going to go over to my starter character. Hit a plus. A for animation. There's my animation. Oh, went down to the bottom. Let's call this roll anim. Roll anim. And then we're going to put that ID we copied right here. I'll do a Control V. Boom. Enter. All right. So now we got our animation on there. We're going to need an animation script. Let's go ahead and close this. And I think what I'm going to do is shrink these parts down too. So humanoid root part, I'm just going to tuck that in a little bit. Straight. Tuck that in a little bit. There we go. And then the torso also. That'll work. That'll work. All right, let's go to our starter character. Hit the plus. And we are going to add a local script. I was tempted to do a regular one. Local script, right? And this is going to be our animate script. Animate. Let's make this text bigger so you can see it. How about that? That's pretty good. And we're going to have to do a variable for the character. local char equals script dot parent, and then we'll get the humanoid from the character. So humanoid char wait for child, and humanoid, there it is. What else do we need? We need a roll anim. Roll anim. And I think because the animate has to go in the starter character scripts, it's not going to be in the model. I think I'm going to put this roll anim on the animate script. That's very similar to how they do it in Roblox. So the roll anim is on that animate script. Make sure your asset ID is still there, like you didn't delete it by accident or something. And then how we're going to do that, we'll do script wait for child roll anim. And then we got to get a track too. So we'll say roll anim track. And that, we're just going to get the humanoid, do a dot. We're going to need the animator, and then we'll do the load animation, and that will be the roll anim. So the only event we're probably going to run into is when the humanoid fires the running event. I mean, you're welcome to add them, right? But I'll just do the basic one. We are going to connect that to a function. We'll get the speed when that function fires off, when that event fires off, I should say. If the speed is greater than 0, then let's check to see if not rolling. So we'll say if not roll animation track dot is playing, then let's start it up, right? So we'll do a roll anim track play. And I'm also going to adjust the speed too, because we might want to play around with our speed. So I keep wanting to do the walk anim. Let's do roll anim track colon adjust speed. For now, we'll make it 1. But we might want to roll faster, so we might want the animation to go faster too. I'm going to go right here on line 11 after the end, and then I'm going to add an else, right? So the speed is greater than 0, or the speed is 0 or less than 0. 0 is as low as it'll go, but roll anim track is playing. So if roll anim track is playing and our speed is not greater than 0, let's stop the track. So let's say roll anim track colon stop. All right, so we're going to start it and stop it based on our speed. Now, in order to get this working, let's grab our starter character. We're going to drag it down into starter player, right? It says starter player, starter character's there. Open this up. We're going to get our animate. Let's drag this animate script with the roll animation underneath it, right? We're going to drag them both down to starter character scripts. All right. Now let's test this out. I'm going to go to the head on the starter character, and I'm just going to change the material to say, I don't know, like marble or corroded. Here, I'll do corroded metal. And that way we can see it spinning. You won't be able to see plastic. It's too smooth. Let's hit our play and see what it looks like. And here we go. All right. So we went in and checked to see the view output window. Our ball is already spinning, right? But it shouldn't. It shouldn't spin until we move. One of the things that I notice can cause this is the hip height, right? So the hip height might not be right. Let's go down to our humanoid, I guess up one, right? I was on head. In the starter character, I'm going to look at the hip height. I'm going to intentionally set it a little bit high. Let's say I think our whole character was 5 studs high, and we have 0 here. How about we try 3? And we should be off the ground a little bit, but that way we could see if our script is making the animation go or not. There we go. All right, so we are floating because our hip height is up there. If I hit the W, we're rolling. Looking good. Cool. You see how it kind of reverse spins there. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on where we're at. That's how we did the animation. There is something we can do for that. Let's check to see what hip height we need also, though, before we start changing things. Let's go to our workplace. And then there's my character, my fireball. It's not a fireball yet, but it will be. Let's hit the humanoid. We'll go down to hip height. Now, it's not going to save, but we can get a good idea of what we're going to need. That's 3. Let's check out what 2 is. Little closer. What about 1? That seems to be right there. Let's try that. Let's try and change the hip height to 1. When we turn the game off, we're going to lose that because the game was playing. You can't change and persist things while the game is playing. Over here, you can't. So let's go back to humanoid. We are under the starter player, starter character. And I'm going to take a look at the hip height. I'll make that 1. Cool. And then in this animate script, right down here, I think I'm going to put a stop to 0 to see if that increases the speed of the stopping on my animation. We got a little bit of backlash there. We might just have to redo the animation to make it cleaner if we want, but I'm okay with a little bit of backspin when we stop. All right, we're in the game, and our ball's not rolling. That's good. I'm moving forward. I stop. Yeah, the stop seems to be a little bit better, but not perfect. Not bad, though. Now, the jump will mess you up. If you jump and then stop moving forward, you're going to continue to get this spin. I handled that in the bike video, right? If you watch that. But here, I'm just going to allow it. It'll stop as long as you're not jumping. If you jump, it kind of messes it up. All right, let's go ahead and make this thing on fire. Let's grab our starter character and drag it back into the workspace so we can see it when we're working on it. There we go. And let's add some fire. I think I'm going to add it to the head. So go down to your starter character, head, hit the plus, hit an F. There's fire. And it's a tiny little fire. Let's select fire. I'm going to go with that color. That's a good color for fire. I need to make the size bigger, and I'm going to reduce the heat. The heat is the upward direction. So I'll reduce the heat to 0. And I'm going to increase the size. How about 15? Pretty good. It's too bad you can't have the front face like we do with the beams and stuff, or face front. But that'll work. That's pretty good. Let's change the head color a little bit. So go to head. And we have it at gray, but corroded metal. We can go ahead and pick a color. That'll work, right? That'll work. Let's hit the play and see what it looks like. Oh, we got to put it down into our starter character, though. Drag it on down into starter player, So starter character to starter player. There we go. Now we can hit the play button, test it out. And there we go. Voila. It's looking good. Fire might be a little big. I don't know how big you want to make it. In the video, it was a little smaller, but the ball was smaller too. We can also increase the speed. That's one of the reasons why I had the adjust speed in the animate. If you go to the animate, right, in the animate, if you lost it, it's down here under starter character scripts. I have this adjust speed. 1 is the speed that we created the animation. If we double it, it's going to double the speed. So if we have 2, it's going to double the speed. Why do we want that? Well, maybe we want to make the humanoid walk speed twice as fast. So we'll say walk speed equals 32. It's normally 16. Now when we play it, we should get a nice fast fireball. All right, we're in our world. Yeah. Looks like it can do some damage now. All right, let's put damage on it, right? We're going to have to put damage on it so we can kill zombies. All right, so I turn my player off, and I'm going to go to starter player, not in the starter character, but starter character scripts. These are the scripts that get loaded to my character when I enter the game, or what any player does. We're going to hit the plus, add a regular script, not a local script. Regular, because it's going to be damage, right? We'll call it damage. Let's just call it damage, so we know what it is. We get rid of this print statement right here. Let's get a variable. We're probably going to touch the zombies and other players and stuff with the head, because that's the big part, right? So do script.parent.head. Then we'll get the head. We'll do a touched event, connect that to an anonymous function. Other part, that's going to be whatever we touch on the other character, like the hand or the arm or whatever. Let's check to see if the other part is associated with a humanoid. So we'll say hum equals other part dot parent. That would be the character. And then we'll find first child that's a humanoid. Right? We might not find anything because it might not be a humanoid. Might not be a character. So we'll do a check. And then if the check passes, we did get a humanoid. We're going to say local fire equals instance.new. We're going to create a new instance of fire. And the second argument is the parent. We'll stick it right on that other part that touched our head. And then we'll make the fire size a little bit big. Fire size, that's pretty big. 10's big. And then we'll do a loop for I equals, I don't know, let's go 1 to 10 in steps of 1. We'll do a little wait in between. And then I guess a lot of people do task wait now. Wait still works. Let's do fire size. We'll make it a little smaller. You want to multiply it by 10%. So let's do like times equals 0.1. So that'll make it smaller every loop. And then the most important part is the damage, right? We'll do hum take damage. That's a colon in there. And I don't know, 20 points. Kill them off pretty quick. And then we'll destroy the fire, right? We can't have too many fires floating around in the world. We'll use up all of our resources. That should work. All right, let's also bump up the health of our starter player. It's not going to be any fun if we die while we're touching zombies. Let's go to humanoid and then scroll down to this game section. Look for max health, and I'll make that 1,000. Cool. And then also health, because we don't, it's a little bit above max health. We don't want to have to wait for it to get all the way up to max health. And there's another trick we can do too, though. But let's try this out. Let's go over to our workspace and then home, toolbox. I already searched for zombies. I'm going to put a zombie there. Yep, that's all right. Control D, Control D, Control D. That's pretty good. All right, let's play this and see if we can kill those zombies. All right, we're in the world. Oh, it looks like the zombies are dying. One guy made it, but not for long. That's pretty cool. All right, before we turn the game off, let's go to workplace, and then look for your character in the workplace. Find this health, right? Right click, copy the health, stop your game, and then we're going to go down to our starter character scripts. And we're going to paste into that health. We're going to modify it. Right? We're going to make this guy really tough. So this health regen rate, how about, that's the fraction. How about we bump up that fraction maybe to 25? Right? What's this regen step? How long to wait in between each regeneration step? That one's good. That should work. Yeah, let's make it a little shorter. Nice. All right, let's try it again. We should be really healthy, and we should get better really quickly. All right, I'm in my game. Let's check our health. Look at that. It keeps bumping up. That's pretty good. Yeah, our health is looking pretty good. We're ready to kill some zombies. Should we add some sound? Let's at least add the fire sound to our starter character. All right, let's go to Toolbox and under the Marketplace, go to Audio we'll search for fire. Fire crackling. Fire's good. Ooh, fireball might have been good. That should work. You can play around with these. Let's go and put that fire sound on our animate script. So I'll just hit insert with the animate script selected, which is under starter character scripts. There we go. I can turn this off. This is torch fire. I'm just going to rename torch fire to fire sound. That way when I switch it out, I'll just switch the name to fire sound, and that'll be my convention. Let's go to animate. Here's our animate. And then let's get a variable for our fire sound. How about fire sound, script, wait for child, fire sound. There it is. We'll just play it. So we're going to have to loop it too, right? So we'll do fire sound, play, and then let's go down here, fire sound, looped. Sweet. You could change the sound if you're stopped or moving by putting it, or stopped or moving by putting it in here. This is like if you're moving, right? If you start, you want to change a different sound. And then if you stop, just put a different sound right there. Just turn off one sound, turn on the other sound. Let's try this out. Let's hit play. Entering our world. Sounds good. We don't have zombies screaming like in the demo, but that's all right. You could add that. I think, let's check what happens when we die. That's good. We respawn. I think we're good to go. All right, we got a rolling fireball. I will see you in the next video.